Assalamu alaikum, fam. Today we'll be looking at the most violent and awkward verse in the Quran as per Sheikh Radvan. This is one of Radvan's latest videos and it just came out around a week ago, so let's see if his content has gotten any better after doing this for 2 years. In any case, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet, inshallah.
Ready? Indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon earth to cause corruption is none but that they be killed or crucified, or that their hands and feet be cut off from opposite sides. So what is this punishment for? Well, the first thing is waging war against Allah and His Messenger. This does not only mean those who bear arms and attack the Muslims. In common Islamic terms, this also stands for opposing Islam and ideologically fighting Islam. If you want to verify that, you can check several Islamic sources, like the most popular interpretation of the Quran by Ibn Kathir, which says wage war mentioned here means oppose and contradict, and it includes disbelief, blocking roads, and spreading fear in the fairways. The second reason given is causing corruption or mischief in the land. What this means is doing all the things that are outlawed in Islam, or that are an act of disbelief and disobedience, which is basically everything. Ibn Kathir describes it as all kinds of evil, so everything.
According to Radvan's understanding, any sin in Islam is punishable by getting your hands and feet chopped off. But is this Ibn Kathir's understanding? No, rather in his commentary, he directly says that this is for those who commit the types of crimes the ayah mentioned. In other words, if one cuts off the hands and feet of another, then the same punishment shall be delivered to him. So, an eye for an eye. Ibn Kathir then mentions the story of the Uraniyin, who committed these acts to some Muslim shepherds and thus were punished by the same. So no, Radvan, this is not a friggin' punishment for every sin, ya jahil.
But all of this aside, I'm long not done with this verse. Remember how the verse goes, whoever kills a soul unless for a soul or for corruption. Well, that's only part of the verse. The actual verse goes like this. Because of that, we decreed upon the children of Israel that whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as if he had killed all mankind, and whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved all mankind. Okay, whatever you say. But we actually do find this concept somewhere else. We find it in the Talmud. Now, if we look at whoever kills a person has killed all mankind, in Abrahamic, biblical, Jewish scripture, we don't actually find such a thing anywhere in biblical texts. It doesn't exist. Of course, we could go ahead and accept the usual Muslim objection. Well, it probably did exist, but the Jews falsified their scripture and probably removed it.
Straw man? There's no reason to assume that this text was removed from the Old Testament, since there is no motive to do so. It is far likelier that the text belongs to the oral law or a non-extant scripture. There were many books that were seen as scripture and were even referred to in the Old and New Testament, but were lost through the passage of time. Ironically, though, we're going to get to the topic of tampering with text in a bit.
Therefore, Adam, the first man, was created alone, to teach you that with regard to anyone who destroys one soul from the Jewish people, in other words, who kills one Jew, the verse ascribes him blame as if he destroyed an entire world, as Adam was one person, from whom the population of an entire world came forth. And conversely, anyone who sustains one soul from the Jewish people, the verse ascribes him credit as if he sustained an entire world. This cannot be a coincidence. The Talmud, as important as it is in Judaism, is only a collection of Jewish rabbinic commentary on divine texts and the laws of God. Sanhedrin was an assembly, a court of Jewish rabbis that was established in Jewish lands, where rabbis would discuss and judge over the lands of Israel and the laws of Israel. This entire chapter of the Talmud consists of these rabbis making a commentary and ascribing meaning through understanding to the texts. So when in this chapter the Talmud says, whoever kills one Jew had killed the entire world, this is an interpretation by rabbis of the stories of Adam, Cain, and Abel. So the Quran seems to be adopting and mirroring the Talmud here. Muslims don't even accept the Talmud and rabbis as an authority.
Yeah, there's no doubt that these words are quite similar to what we find in the Quran. However, this doesn't mean that the Quran plagiarizes the commentary. There is reason to believe that the origin of this interpretation comes from a common source. In other words, the lost authoritative scripture. Proof of this can be found in the Jerusalem Talmud, which expresses that whoever caused a single life to perish from Israel, he is deemed by scripture as if he had caused a whole world to perish. More importantly, there are several key differences between the Quranic verse and the Talmud. Most importantly, that the Quran is polemical here, refuting the Talmud, which asserts that killing a Jew is as if one is killing the whole of creation. The Quran goes on to correct this concept by affirming that this is for all man and not exclusive to Jewish victims. So no, this isn't plagiarism, this is a correction. In any case, Radvan ends his rant with a funny little theory.
What seems to have happened here is that Muhammad heard Jews talk about Cain and Abel, and about how if one kills one man, it is as if he had killed all mankind. Muhammad probably didn't really understand that this was merely a teaching by Jewish rabbis.
Yes, because what Jews love doing most is talking about the Mishnah verses in Arabic in front of an allegedly false prophet. The suggestion is ridiculous, since it would imply that the Prophet, peace be upon him, memorized a random discussion, then waited several years before including it verbatim with corrections as part of the Quran, since Surah Al-Ma'idah is the last revealed chapter. Radvan knows well that there were no Jews in Medina after the year 5 after Hijrah. So perhaps he did this with the hundreds of other verses that speak about early prophets as well. He just happened to bump into Jews that mindlessly recited these works, unaware that would all soon be plagiarized. Come on. Alright, I'm done. You like this video? I hope you did. Yalla everyone, I'm off. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.